Adrian, the image of the week must surely be you embracing your son. For what looked like to me several minutes at the end of the game, you were incredibly emotional, both of you in fact, and you know, that feeling coming out at that point, it sort of said a lot, I thought.
Yeah. It's you know, I think, first I don't want to make it about Lachlan and I, the team, the game and the performance and the win, but it was a real special moment. I've had times thought through this week about how lucky I am to have him here, playing here for my team and playing well, and just a really weird moment when we went to take the field goal and the ball was thrown back to him, and I just thought he's going to win us the game here, and it just happened like that, and I was like, what's just happened? So I'm really proud of it, but you know, I've coached him since he was 6, so you know, if the thing that's gone through my mind through that moment, like you may talk about, but as a coach with him, that we've been in a complete opposite position a number of times and been heartbroken. So that was sort of like a bit of a serendipity moment. So yeah, very proud of him and very proud of the team.
Adrian, you coached him since he was 6. Have you coached him how to kick drop goals?
Yeah, if it goes through, I have. Yeah, it's you know, we've practiced for that. You know, I felt sorry for Hull KR. I thought they played well, but you know, I was a bit nervous as well because they've probably prepared better than anyone in the last 6 weeks on kicking those 1-pointers that they've kicked a few. But we've got our reps out, and we sort of had a plan on who was going to do what, and it just fell into place perfectly for us. So that finished off nicely.
The crucial moment in the game, Adrian, I thought, was when obviously Brad Schneider failed to put the ball into touch on that penalty in Golden Point. You were going to win from that point onwards, I thought. You know.
But to be fair, I thought the penalty given for a strip should have been a penalty.
No, it looked dubious, didn't it?
Yeah, so it was probably a little bit of faith.
Poetic justice.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's just moments in the game, isn't it? It's like the moments in life that just come and go, and he kicks that out, you never know, yeah, so.
Latin, do you want to give your version of events, how, you know, it unfolded, and you know, how the ball came to you and what your feelings were?
Yeah, I've touched on it. We've done a lot of work over the last month. We're coming into the time of the year that you want to be playing in, and you know, it's with the quality of competition, you're going to be in that spot at some stage. So we've done a lot of practice on that, and you know, Gaz has been our guy. He kicked one, you know, a week ago against Leigh, and he flushes them all the time at training. He's Mr. Cool, calm, collected. He doesn't really miss me. He missed that first one, and yet, you know, the trust to throw it back to me to take that kick, and that just comes down to, you know, make chip off the field, and you know, the type of people we want and have around our team, and you know, have that trust to throw those passes, because you know, he has made so many of them at training, and then it felt like I had a lot of time to kick it.
Did you know it was going over as soon as you kicked it?
Not as soon as I kicked it, I dropped it a little bit on that angle, but about halfway to the post, I knew it was going in.
What was that feeling like when it did go through?
It happened really quick. I went to celebrate, and all of a sudden I was on my back, and everyone was piling on top. It was a special moment. It's my first, you know, professional field goal. I've never kicked one in a professional game before. Yeah, I never I think I've kicked one in a reserve grade game in Australia. I haven't kicked one growing up. I haven't kicked one in any other game, so it's my first one.
Adrian, I remember you saying that Brad's stole that lance of that lead to Brazil, so it's just a bit of payback now.
Yeah, we have a running joke still about that being and yeah, I was just grateful that we had an opportunity here today, and Lockie's got that, so it's no way.
What's it feel like to join your dad as a Challenge Cup winner as a player?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that slowly check it off the list, because he's got a lot on his resume. He likes to remind you all the time, so it's nice to have one back. He can't use that anymore, so you know, there's a few others that I'm trying to chase down.
I'm still enjoying that game, mate.
Did I score?
Oh, he did.
Lachlan, do you think it's possible now to achieve these additional goals in your career with Leigh? I mean, what kind of moment will this be for the club in terms of breaking down the sort of expectations, etc.?
Yeah, I think, you know, the narrative's changed throughout the year so far. Speaking to a few close mates that played in this competition, the start of the year was, you know, you beat so and so, you might win this game, you might win that game, and a month goes by and we won 2 or 4, and another month goes by and we won 6 or 8, and we're working hard for each other, and good things come from hard work, man.
Adrian, what was more nerve-wracking for you, winning one as a player or as a coach?
As a coach, I'm usually pretty calm during the week. A little bit nervous this week, to be honest. And I think maybe because we probably were favourites, and we've beaten them twice prior, and I knew they were coming in with a lot of confidence. So they had 2 weeks off, and you could see the energy really in their game today with that time off. So, yeah.
And you've had a lot of history over the years with Willie Peters. You go back a long way.
Yeah.
I guess, what did you make of his team's performance tonight, and will you be having a few drinks with him after today's game?
Yeah, well, mate, and very close friends, and I said to him, it's just unfortunate that it ended that way. No one deserved to lose that game. And I think he should be proud, so to their fans, on how they played. I thought they hung in there and they were tough right to the very end. You couldn't split both teams really. And, even with 10 minutes to go, I think we led by 6 points. I was just counting. I'd never look at the clock. I was looking at the clock every couple of minutes and just thinking, just it's going so slow. And then with a minute to go, they get that try, and it's like, oh.
Did you ever think they weren't going to give that try?
Yeah, well, I saw his finger in the video up close. So I don't want to dwell on that, but it was just an incredible finish. Like I said, we planned for the extra time over the last month, and it fell into place really well for us.
If any of the 3 of you had been told when you joined the club that you'd win a Challenge Cup within this time frame, would you really believe them?
To be honest, last year we sort of did what we did. We sort of feel like we've built a really good foundation leading into Super League, and then obviously the staff did a really great job in recruiting the players that we did with a lot of experience. And we knew what they were going to bring to the table. And throughout pre-season, we did a lot of hard work. Our pre-season was built on attitude and belief in our group, and no matter what the expectation was from the outside, it's what we believe within us that will get us where we want to get to. And we've always set a goal that we want to be in these big games, and this year we sort of just tick each game as they went by, and every week we started to improve, and obviously we changed people's minds in the way they think of us and what we can deliver on the field, and within the group we sort of looked at ourselves and said we can do something big here as long as we're strong mentally, and each week we continue to learn and get better each week, and we got this opportunity, and we sort of understood that these moments don't come often. This might be our last opportunity, it could be our first or many, and we just want to make sure that when we get it, we make the most of it, and we did that tonight.
Okay, I will say as well, I think right at this moment we hold both the Baby Sundex Cup and the Challenge Cup both together before it ends off. So that's an incredible moment as well within the club. And I think in the last 18 months we've won everything that was in front of us, and that's not being arrogant, that's just from hard work. It's an incredible statistic really when you think about even the amount of players that I think there's 15 new players that have come in this year as well. So this is a magic moment for the club, but we feel that there's good times ahead for us as well.
Well, even though the setting's very different, do you approach kicking a drop goal at Wembley the same way as you do kicking it at Club LA?
Yeah, I think so, mate. It's I had a lot of time. I think a few people went flying towards Gaz O'Brien, and when he threw it to me, it felt like I had almost too long to kick the ball, so I almost missed it. I missed the ball completely, but you kick 1,000 balls, some of the balls in front of you in a big moment, you get the same. So
Is that the strongest foot lock when you left foot?
Yeah.
Luckily, you've won the Landstod Trophy. Did you know anything about the Landstod Trophy before this game? Did you know anything about the history of it and so on?
No, I didn't. I knew about the award, not so much about the history behind the award. Obviously, we've talked about it a few times, but I was speaking out there to someone, and they were saying that it's the longest serving man of the match trophy in sport. I don't know how.
1946.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's obviously very prestigious, mate. I'm very, very lucky to have it.
The the story is too, the 21 win was by our number 7, the 71 win was by Alex Murphy, our number 7. So this is a hat trick of number 7's winning that medal on wins to the Brilliant, which is quite interesting.
John, can I just ask you as the captain? I think you're going to find in future years that there will be a 10-year reunion, probably a 20-year reunion, and going right up to about 50 years while you're all still alive. Are you ready to fly back from Australia to Leigh for all those reunions that are bound to happen?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think only time can tell. I always say to the boys that I'm a strong believer in my faith, and if it's for me to come back for those moments, I'll definitely be here. But obviously live my life day by day, and yeah, if when that moment comes and if I'm available to be here, I'll be here for sure.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind coming to Australia on a one-on-one office. So
Every second year, maybe.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Lachlan, as you alluded to, your squad sort of really high on confidence already, but what's this going to do for the remainder of the season? Once all these celebrations are over and you're looking at the grand final, I guess.
Yeah, I think we do have those goals in our camp, and it comes through our hard work, mate. Nothing happens from luck, and if you hope anyway through a game, you win some job. We work hard for each other. We train hard and hang out with each other off the pitch and work hard on the pitch. So that's why you're seeing those things happen.
John, you've won premierships in the NRL. Where does this rank in your career?
Well, it's up there with the 2015 one. There's a big flashback when Lockie actually kicked the ball, because I remember when John kicked it, the way he dropped the ball was on an angle, and the way he flew over the post was just exactly the same as how Lockie did it. And it's just an amazing feeling. There's a lot of emotions going out there, and it's up there with all of it.
With the nerves and the excitement all the same as 2015 to now?
It doesn't change. Speak a lot in our camp about being calm and just sort of trusting the process. But to be honest, I was still a bit nervous. It hits me, especially when we walked out there. But then obviously you get involved in the game, and then you start to sort of settle into the game, and then everything sort of calms down a little bit. So, but the nerves before and leading up to it, all very much the same.
Big carry from Malone at the end. He's not only a bigger name signing, but does he sort of epitomise what you're actually building here?
Yeah. When he came available from Warrington for us, we couldn't grab him quick enough, to be honest with you. And as a person, he's as good as it gets. And that's part of the recruitment for us has been about getting a talented player, and that person needs to be a good person as well. And he has both of those. But I'm grateful for him, because both Tom Amone and Robbie Mulhern and John Asiata, even apart from the middle pack, have been as good as any front runner in the competition this year, without a doubt, no doubt about it. And I think Robbie got man of the match last week in the TV game against Leeds, so I knew he was going to play well. And Tom Amone was nominated as one of the players of the month. So our front row, they played big minutes. I think they only made one sub today before half time, and you never see that in any NRL or Super League. So that's just respect and credit to our forward mate.
He's worked very hard, Robbie Mulhern as well. He come off a few, hit and miss average games to start the year, and the trial games and first couple maybe, but he's one of our probably stand-up performers this year. Just pure work ethic and just dedication to getting better. And I run a joke thing, we're calling him Moose Mulhern, because he runs. He's an absolute beast when he runs, and we have a big inside joke on him. So if you can try and get that nickname out of the Moose.
So you mentioned the 1895 Cup. You look at how many fans you took last year to Tottenham, and they probably tenfold there to the club going kind of to the town.
It's incredible to talk about. When I thought about how this has happened, it's incredible. Like, to think that we were watching Batley come in, and I didn't think really much about them today until we saw them walk in, and I thought, wow, that was us last year, coming in to prepare for the championship over Sunday's final. How that's gone around in 12 months, it's an incredible story for rugby league, really, on what we've done to come up and even be here. It's just been, we just built momentum every week as we've gone along, and the belief today was really high, really high, and we worked hard to be here.
Lachlan, you've come a long way since your time in the NRL, and Adrian, you might be able to speak to this, but can you just touch on your maturity as a player over the past couple of years and the development of your game?
Yeah, I think I've got a little bit bigger role than I've had in the past at this club, and you know, I'm trying to be a leader for the team. I'll be there.
It's me on the list.
Yeah,
It's the Queen. Sorry.
I've been, I'm a leader in this team, and you know, I want to try and lead by my actions on the field, not just what I'm saying to the team. So I think that's the biggest my involvement in games and my leadership off the field is what I've worked hard on.
I saw you coming with the goggles. Was there some champagne showers beforehand?
Maybe.
Yeah, Derek loves that sort of stuff, so he had all that prepared for the team, just in case. So I think he mirrored last year's grand final win as well, so it's a bit of fun with that.
What Derek said, Adrian, post-match, he looked pretty delighted post-match.
Yeah, he hasn't really said much. He said a lot along the way on his journey. So I got him to speak at the very start, and he explained what the importance of being at Wembley was. I mean, we made the final last year in the championship, but it was at Tottenham. So he's always had this dream, he says, about walking out to Wembley, and he thought that was meant to be it last year. So he always puts that on us that these dreams all come true. So we've got to probably believe him now, but. He's very proud. He's obviously very passionate and flamboyant, and I'm very grateful for him as a club. We're grateful for him and what he puts into the club. It's people like him that keep rugby league clubs alive in the north of England. And I'm just happy that he's got his rewards for what he's put into this club.
I think you said after you beat Saints last month that it felt like a dream, but to actually lift the cup for the first time in 52 years, does it feel like a dream now?
I think it's hard to picture. We looked at footage of the last time we won, which was in black and white, and to see that we're going to drive around towns tomorrow and open top bus and celebrate our fans the same way our 71 and 21 team did is incredible. So it's a bit surreal at the moment, but even in being in this week, surreal. Like we were training, I think we're going to Wembley on Thursday. It just, every step along this way on this journey has been a great enjoyment at the moment, and I want to keep going.
Adrian, just a quick thing. I remember attending the press conference in Leigh last year when Derek announced the change of the branding to the Leopards, and quite a few people were sceptical at the time, I think it's fair to say. And I just wonder what you thought of it. Did you envisage it going as well as it has done? Because, if you could imagine...
Well, I had an initial conversation with Derek about it way back, and when it was brought out, it was like, everyone's, how are people going to take to this? But the way that it snowballed to a point where, I was having a coffee this morning, I saw men wearing leopard print tops, shirts, and we're having a celebration tonight where everyone's got leopard print on it, and it's just, because we're winning too, I think that helps, but it's just gone viral and just straight across the whole town, and maybe across the UK in some areas, and it's just caught on, and I think it can go to different levels. It can keep going, because where does it end? We've got all different colours, and
It's a unique selling point, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, absolutely, and good for marketing and things too, that the club's been building off moving forward. So I just want to add too, in this journey that we've had, we've got a lot of players that have come from the outside. We've recruited in the last 18 months players that were down and out in some areas. I'm just so grateful that Johnny Asiata had broken his neck a couple of years ago. There's stories everywhere with Evan Arpe not being in a team anywhere. Kai O'Donnell not knowing Kai O'Donnell. Josh Charlie can't get in the Warrington team. Jack Hughes can't get in. Mulhern can't get in. And the way that the groups got together in the last 18 months and those guys for 6 months has been incredible. And I'm just grateful that everyone's been rewarded for the hard work today.
I think a final point from me, but obviously it's a great success for you today. and I would imagine that a few NRL clubs will notice what you've achieved, and might come knocking on the door asking if you want a job over there at some point, if they've not done that already. Do you see your future ultimately going back there to coach an NRL side?
Maybe one day, yeah, I think so. But I'm the happiest coach in the world at the moment too. I love my job that I do. I drive to work every morning. I feel so happy that I'm there, and I'm re-signed there for another year. I don't want to go anywhere else. It's just, some great memories again. It's hard to want to think about leaving, to be honest, at the moment because of what they're achieving. I don't want to go anywhere, and I don't want to even think about it. If that opportunity comes up, we'll deal with it when it does. But for now, I'm grateful that we've brought some silverware back to Leigh. It's been a very long time. They haven't had much to cheer about, and I think, imagine how happy they're going to be on that drive back tonight or tomorrow morning, and they've got something to talk about. They've seen, we're not just a bus stop anymore, all that sort of stuff. And, just very grateful for what we have, the people around us, and we've just got to keep getting better as we go.
Imagine that you guys would be, because you'll never have to buy a drink, nobody,
Yeah, I think these guys don't buy a drink anyway, but I'm always paying for it. But I think I've just, I said in the media there to all the Leigh fans, thank you so much for being patient. The cup's coming to Leigh. It's yours, and you're at home for 12 months, and just be grateful for that. Sleep easy, and we'll see when we get home.
And one final question for you, John. What's it like sort of leading this group of club?
Yeah, it's a dream come true to be able to lead the team just like this. It's the group that we have at the moment. It's a brotherhood. What we've built is it's a family, and that's what we're all about here. And to be able to lead those guys and have a great leadership behind me as well. Lockie, Zach, and Jack Hughes, they make my job a lot easier because they are all experienced. They all understand what it takes to be able to win games. And my job is just to lead by my actions and do what I do good. And as a leader, that's what your players need, is for you to lead. They will follow, and they make my job a lot easier.
We'll call it a day. Thanks ever so much, everybody, for
First, I can't imagine how you and the boys are feeling. Just give us an initial reaction on that heartbreaking goal from 20 feet.
My reaction that I'm very proud of the players, extremely proud of the players. We went through a lot in that game, and we didn't handle that golden point all that well. We did perhaps previously, but if you look at the 80 minutes and some things that sort of went against us at times, but we just hung in there, and it just proves and shows the fight in this team and the character in the side to keep going to the end there and lock it up. And then unfortunately we lose in golden points. So we had our joys a couple of times, didn't we? But obviously this is hard to take. But really proud of the players.
I know he's in a losing team tonight, but I thought Mikey Lewis was outstanding, the amount of pressure he had to deal with. You must be really proud of him stepping up on such a big stage.
Yeah, I'm proud of all the players. And Mikey was to go to fullback, and he hasn't played there a lot, but there's no doubt Mikey can play fullback. He's a footy player. You can put him at 6, 7, 1, possibly 9. Just get him running. That's what he does well. So he'll get some learnings again. There's still some learnings for him in this game. Some learnings for our spine in general. Some of our last plays weren't as effective as what we would have liked in terms of putting in corners and winning some field position that way. But as I said, really proud of the players.
I know it's all in hindsight now, but what did you make of the Elliot and Cheddar incident? Obviously a big part of the game, and late in that first half. The yellow card, sorry.
Yeah. One of those. It's. I don't think it was. I don't want to go too much into it, but I'm not. I will never ever tell my players to lay down. And Brad Schneider at the start got hit late. If he lays down, does he get 10 minutes? I wouldn't. I would never say to our players to lay down. Whether he laid down or not, we'll have a look and see what the contact was, and then you guys can make your own mind up.
We saw you at the end, obviously speaking to the players, delivering a message. What was that the case of how proud you are, and obviously not letting this derail the season because there's still a lot of Super League action left in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very proud. You can't not. So, we spoke before the game. No regrets. Don't regret, in terms of your individual own performance, and that's around effort and competing. And I thought all 17 players did that tonight. There's no doubt we're going to be disappointed, and it's a disappointed shed. Of course, we just lost a final, but we also spoke about that we've got 6, 7 games to go in the Super League season, and you can push and try and get to the finals, and then see how we go off the back of that.
Thank you on that.
Willie, it must have been a game of really contrasting emotions for you, this game, because it was tight all the way through. You were never really, hardly ahead most of the time. But that last try, when it took about half an hour to the video referee to make a decision on it, you must have been pulling your hair out, because the logic is, if you can't decide, and the referee's given it, then for God's sake, give the blasted thing.
Absolutely, yeah. No, 100%. You're spot on. It was. I don't know why we're going so far into it.
Did you fear that it was going to take it off you?
I was hopeful it wasn't, but the longer it goes, then you start to be a little bit fearful now. But he called try, and you could see that he didn't touch it. So.
Did you actually think once Brad kicked the goal and it drew level? Did you think things were then going your way? It just looked, it was just one of those situations where you thought, well, Leigh obviously thought they'd got it won with 2 minutes to go, and they hadn't, and maybe, you were going to come up on the rails and beat them.
Yeah, I did. I thought when we got that penalty, that's when I thought, okay, luck's changed here. We've sort of got some momentum. We got a penalty, and then we just spoke about our learnings from that game was probably that set, and then the set after that. And they, we've got to learn from opposition teams at times, and I think they taught us a good lesson how to, in Golden Point, we took 6 carries and then went for a long distance field goal where they had a couple of hit ups and then moved the ball, which then found easy meters on our edges, and then went carry, and then put themselves in a strong position. So, credit to Leigh. They're a good team. They're a very good team who, I've said it before, they're sitting second or third for a reason. They've just won that for a reason. So, for our team, as I said, I'll keep saying I'm so proud of the players because we just kept fighting to the end, and there's a team. We've got a team as well.
Sean, can I just ask you, as a overseas captain, you've played in some massive games and you've had a quite long career. How does this game compare to some of the other really big games you've played in?
Yeah, it's just as big. Obviously, it was a great occasion, and very disappointed, but really enjoyed the moment out there. It's a great spectacle, and our fans showed up in numbers as they always do, and I'm really feeling for them today as well because we really want to get the win for everyone involved. But it was like I said, it was a great day out there. Despite the result.
Is it inevitable that you're going to struggle to rouse yourselves for the next game? Is that just an inevitable part of a consequence of a result like that, or do you think you can?
No, not with the character. I believe we've got. We've after the semi-finals and those games after we've had some big wins. We've always come back and like the Castleford game, playing against a desperate team, we played well and responded. We're going to go to St Helens home ground, so if we want to be flat, complacent, or whatever we want to call it against those guys, then we're in for a long night. So the team that we've got and the character inside, we're going to have a good little break now, so that the boys will enjoy tonight with their families and have a few beers and that type of thing, and then they'll have a few days off, and then they'll come back, and I know this team will be ready to go again.
I guess that's where you're coming in against, Sean, isn't it? After the semi, you made the point that the job hasn't been done, and I guess now it's sort of opposite message that you've got to instill in the squad.
Yeah, we'll prepare as best we can for the rest of the season, and we'll dust ourselves off and go back to what we always do, and we work hard and prepare well, and that'll be the messaging for this week. We recover well. Obviously been disappointed, but there's still full focus and a lot of rugby to be played to back into the year, and we want to get the most out of ourselves for that.
Yeah, Sean, I guess after an end of season grand final, you've got the whole off season to sit there and think about what you could have done better after a big loss. Is it nice to know that you can make up for it, I guess, next week and get back out in the park and I guess really put this week behind you?
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll take the learnings as a group, and our full focus goes to the season ahead where we're sitting nicely, and we know we need to rally around together and put our full energy into the back end of the year to give ourselves the best chance to be playing in another game like that at the end of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you.